right, fifth grade. So we're going to be starting to make our fantastic treehouse in 2-point perspective. So to get started, you'll need your larger sheet of paper, a 9 by 12. You want a ruler, a pencil and eraser, and you want to also have like an extra longer strip of paper. So just make sure it's a little bit wider than your regular paper. You could use it on a newspaper if you're at home or anything else that you might have. We just want to get our vanishing points off of our paper, so it kind of gives us a little more room for our treehouse. So what I'm going to do is just take a couple pieces of masking tape and just tape it onto the back. And I would not advise using white clear tape because it can make it a little more difficult to remove afterwards. So I'm going to flip it over. All right, so to get started, we just want to make a couple boxes. So if you want to make a tree trunk first, just real quick, I'm just going to make it a little bit wider at the bottom and kind of pull it up. And then you could put a V in the center if you're going to split it. All right, now we can always overlap that and cover that part up later. So I'm going to start by making the main part of my tree house. I'm going to make a vertical line first. Remember, line up your ruler with the edge of your paper and just start by making a vertical line. And we want to connect each of these down to our vanishing point, which I had not made yet. So let's put a little dot on both sides. So this part of my tree house, or this line, is going to come to my right. You could drag it all the way, but that's a lot more to erase. Just make your sides big enough. Now this side, the top is going to come down just like we practiced on our warm-up. And the left-hand side goes down to the vanishing point. Then remember, you're going to make a vertical line as large as you want your tree house to go. And our horizon line will be right about through here. Now I'm going to connect this bottom corner. The left-hand side is going to go over to the opposite side to the right. And I already have my tree trunk kind of started. So I'm going to just go have my tree overlapping it for right now. But keep all your lines light because you'll be erasing a lot. And this right hand side goes over to the left. Now if I want to make these trunks look like they're actually connected, I'm just going to round them off and erase all my extra guidelines. Now, obviously, we're going to add more branches later as we go because we don't want to make it look like they all got sawed off. But I want to put a little addition onto my tree house. So I think I'm going to have another part of my tree house a little bit taller. So I'm going to build it up here. Actually, I'm going to bring it down a little bit so I have room for a roof. So you have to kind of do a little bit of planning ahead of time. So I want the middle of my wall to come here, make it a smidge taller. This corner is going to come to that. And this one's going to come on to that right hand vanishing point. And I'll have a vertical line. All right, now here I want to put a roof on this part here. So I want to find the middle of it, of this line here. You could just kind of take a rough estimate, but if you use math and geometry, if you make an X, so really lightly make an X, And then if you go straight up from here, this will be the center. So the center of my top would be right about here. So I'm just going to connect my corners. Now to make the roof line, so go towards my vanishing point. You're not going to really see too much of the roof because it's way up on the top. Now I'm going to put a window inside here. So remember, you have to always start with the vertical line. So I want my window about to height of here and about down to here. Now since it's the right hand side of my treehouse, connect your corner towards the vanishing point. And then you're going to make another vertical line for this side. I'll make another window on this side. Start with a vertical line. And then take the corners towards your vanishing point. And another vertical line for this side. I'm going to put another couple parts of my tree house up over here, a little higher up. So again, start with the vertical line. And I'll take my corners So just keep on adding more boxes till you have, a month that you are happy with for your treehouse. And I'm going to put this into time lapse for a minute so I can get some more details added, and I'll show you how to make a ladder. All right, so I'm going to make a rope ladder coming down. So I'm just going to make some marks. If you have a ruler with little marks, you could space it out at about 1/4 of an inch each space if you want to. I don't have any marks on my straight edge here, so I'm just going to start by making some little vertical lines, about evenly spaced. Work my way down. Each of these I'm going to head towards my vanishing point. So since I'm on the left-hand side of the tree, they're going to go towards the left-hand vanishing point. Just make sure you're on target. So as they get to be more eye level at the horizon line, they're going to kind of start to straighten out a little bit. And then as they get higher, they're going to angle downwards. Now the other half of the line is also going to be vertical. So just kind of space those in there. If your lines are a little short, you can just connect them. Right now they look really, really skinny. So I'm going to do the other side just a tiny bit. So just pretty much all individual small blocks. just like we made for our tree house, except they're going to be a little bitty. We're just trying to make these look a little bit more three-dimensional. All right, then I'll use my straight edge just to get them all the same thickness. And then for the top of the block, or the wood, rather, it's gonna come up a pretty skinny. Just making the tops of each one. As we get towards the high enough up, you're not going to see the tops anymore, but you're going to be soon starting to see the bottom once it gets beyond that horizon line. It's like right here, we're switching to the bottoms. All right, then you can either have a rope connecting these together, or you can make a chain. So if you're gonna make a chain, I'm gonna keep it nice and strong. We're gonna start with an oval. Just kind of space them out. Then you're gonna connect the two with a C, like a double C. So an oval, a little space in between it, and then do two C's and a backwards C. Sound like a chain. And at the bottom of my tree, I'm just going to add a few gnarly little roots. So to make the roots, they just kind of come to a point and kind of come back in. Every tree is a little bit different, so don't get too caught up. And you can always put like grass or, you know, other little parts in front of it to cover up if you're not really happy with the way your trunk is looking. Kind of get a few little like that. Just make sure your trunk is wider at the bottom than it is top. You also don't want a complete telephone pole. Now to add some more branches coming off, I can just kind of bring it off. Just make sure you keep it a little thicker. Now if it gets too wide, you can always just split it with a V, and these branches might kind of come up. They might go right off the edge of the paper, and that's going to kind of give your tree the illusion of being big. Now if your tree branch is splitting off on the side here, just kind of round it off where it connects. I'll split that if it's getting kind of thick. If it hits the bottom of your tree house, just round it off. So make sure you have any floating parts with your tree house. It all has to be supported. All right, now to do siding on your treehouse, I'd like you to have some texture on there. Just kind of make some tick marks for the spacing of your siding, and then run each of those lines towards your vanishing point. So I have some siding. One more up here. just put a few vertical lines here and there so it doesn't look like it's, I want to make it so look like it's maybe a few nails holes here and there. And then up here I'll just put some more boards too to finish up the, but always go towards that vanishing point. Now this direction would go towards that vanishing point. So you could add other things inside the windows, you could add curtains, you could draw something inside. Remember, this can be a fantastic treehouse, so if I wanted to add like a satellite dish, I guess you never really need satellite anymore because everything has Wi-Fi, but if I was going to add a dish or something on the top here, a little satellite dish. And just make little tick marks again for boards.